want to bring you something today that my pastor said, and it actually went along with something that I taught my Bible class this week. He was referring to the wise men when they were looking for Jesus and they saw the star. And he said, God's been putting stars in your skies for a long time for direction. It has to get dark enough so you can see them. This week we were talking about the mission of Apollo 13. There's a moment in that story where the main character says that while he was in service, he was flying a plane and all of his instrumentation went out and it went dark. He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know how to get there. He had no sense of direction. Then all of a sudden, from below him, flying over the ocean, there was some algae that began to glow in the dark. It had been churned up from a ship that had come through. If his instruments in his plane had not failed him, if it had not gotten incredibly dark, he would have never been able to see that algae. And he followed that algae home. When my pastor was preaching this morning and he made that statement that God has been putting stars in your sky for a really long time, it just had to get dark for you to be able to see them, to find your way. Something inside of me just grabbed on to that nugget, and I wanted to give it to you today. Because sometimes it's really, really dark, but those are also the times that we see God's direction more clearly, that we hear his voice better, is when it's dark and maybe even silent. Be encouraged today. If everything seems to be failing around you, God might be positioning you to find his direction.